Hey everyone, I'm Kloo, and we're continuing our work on a little vanilla project. As you saw, we just got a special effect from this sheep here called Cozy Wool. So we go ahead and look in chat. It says you feel protected by a soft layer of wool. And that's basically what we're going to do today. We're going to work on giving a bunch of different mobs. Alright, someone in there. Different special effects. So this only occurs when you're close to him, and it's just like a little bonus and a bit more flavorful. So the way I have it set out at the moment is all passive mobs will be getting 1 ability, neutral mobs will be getting 2, and then hostile mobs will get 3 to sort of make combat a bit more interesting. And you may have seen this tower since the very beginning, and this is essentially where we're building it all. So I've gone ahead and assembled a little bit of it. As you can see, the inside of this tower is actually going to be quite full, because the way I want it to operate is essentially like a codex. So you can come into this tower and you can click on these buttons and it puts in chat the ability. And then in the item frame above, I'll just probably put the monster egg so that you know what mob it is if you can figure out the color. So for instance, sheep is Cozy Wool. And then we've also got this helpful cheer, which is for an alley. Healing Mist, this one gives it away because it's in the sort of flavor text, and Echo, which is also the same. So 4 different passive and helpful abilities, and as we make our way up, they'll get more and more hostile. So we'll take a quick look at the way of the command set up. It's simply this L shape, and these first 2 command blocks are actually almost identical. We go ahead and put them in chat. They're essentially the same from the tell raw, except for this at. So the first one has a distance parameter, so it's only executing at sheep if there's an entity, in this case a player, within 2 blocks. It's going to tell that player Cozy Wool. That lets us know the effect is running only when we're actually triggering the effect. The other one operates because of the button, and it's simply just the tell raw at P, so the closest player, Cozy Wool. That way I can press this button, have it in chat, and not get a refresh of the effect, because it's ticking way back down 0. So I think it's 3 minutes of resistance 1 for being near a sheep sometimes. And here's the actual effect. This is very short and sweet, these commands, but it's the number of them I've had to write that is really the hassle. So it's just executing at, again, sheep in this case, if there's a player within 2 blocks, and it's just giving that player an effect. So in fact, it's giving all players within it, so you can actually crowd around a sheep. And we can go back to the top, you can see it's tied to red, which is also this color. So this whole channel works off of these timers down here. So it's my timer into my coin flip machine, which then goes into 4 different layers and has 4 different outcomes, including false negative. So it's 5 different outcomes. So every 3 seconds, there's a 20% chance that a mob might give you an ability. Whether or not that's the right mob, because again, for instance, this was sheep, this was alley, this was axolotl, and this was bat. So 20% of the time, sheep's going to trigger, and you have to be near the sheep. So it's a limited thing that really is just to add a little bit of flavor almost randomly. So, you know, sometimes if you go out and you're shearing a whole bunch of sheep, you might get a passive ability. Or if you're out in the world exploring and a bat flies by, you might get another different passive effect. And that's the way I sort of want to make them all function, is just not completely rare occurrences, but just little things that happen now and then, just to make it seem a bit more impactful. And if you really want to, you know, twist the system, you could just build a little housing pen with 1 of each passive, sit in front of it for a little bit, grab all the effects, and move on. The other variation will be this one. So if we go ahead and click these buttons, you'll notice something straight away. They all say the same thing, scavenge. Slight difference. This one has feathers, this one has shiny, fishy, and playful. And that's because some mobs are a bit exceptional, and I want to do a bit more fancier things with them. So for instance, this one is for a cat. So if you have a tamed cat, it has 4 different I'm going to say gifts it can bring you, because that's what scavenge means. So it's generating an item as long as you're nearby. So it's almost like you're playing with the cat. And because of that, I wanted to have a bit of variation, so it's not just the same thing all the time. So that's how we've come with 4 different outcomes. But again, the majority of mobs that are passive will only have 1 ability. Neutral will have 2, so like bees, I think dolphins are considered neutral. So I don't think they can attack you, they're going to attack other mobs. And then hostile mobs like zombies and skeletons will have 3. And at the very top, we're going to incorporate our boss monsters, and they'll each have 4 plus the 3 of whatever type they are. So they'll actually have 7 abilities they can sort of utilize while you're fighting them. And I think that will make for a very interesting dynamic and a change up to the traditional vanilla playstyle. But I'm going to continue building a bit, and we'll come back and show off a bit more. So I'm here finishing up the last set, and I found something quite interesting. So Minecraft bad luck isn't a thing. It's literally called unluck. Like, not unlucky, just unluck. How weird is that? Ugh. Anyway. But yeah, so this is all the passive mobs done. How many is there? I'm gonna say 20? 24? Something like that. I'm not gonna count. But these should all work. Perfect. A little decoration. And we're done. Well, I have to finish filling in all the eggs. Probably do that while I sort of remember what each of these are. Though it's not too hard to check. I can just look at the back here. And you might have noticed that in the chat box. So there are some of a different color. So green is... it's like a game. Like most games. So green is player beneficial. Yellow is sort of neutral, so it could affect either the player, the environment, or the enemy. And then red will obviously be bad. Avoid. Run away. But other than that, pretty much all of them done. I guess the only thing now is to really ensure that they all work. It's kind of annoying because I have to stand within 3 blocks. I increased it from 2 and sort of wait for the right process to tick. So red would have been the sheep over there. We can run over to him, and by the time we do, I'm sure something else is going to trigger. And then there's also the times where it doesn't trigger. So I could build something closer, but I have to build it around each of them. But I think I'm going to have a bit of fun with it. We'll go out exploring, and there's a few that I definitely want to sort of see and sort of simulate just the player experience. We'll try and find some wild animals and make sure that everything works. The whole idea is this floats in the middle, 0, around the world, and it'd suck if they didn't work. I should definitely make sure that it is chunk loaded. And let's go. One other thing. Definitely want to bring some of this stuff with me. Just so I can quickly come back. If you don't know what this is, it's in one of the other videos. It's just a way to fast travel to the different armor stands I've set up. Anyway, I'm going to go find some mobs and see what we come up with. I've gone ahead and found a school of glow squid. Let's see what they've got for us. So their first ability is Shimmer, and it highlights a bunch of mobs around you and around them, which I think is pretty neat. Makes them a bit useful. Oh my god. What was that? Nah, I don't know what it is. So it's a bit of a nod to Captain Sparkle, who pretty much hates, or hated, the fact that glow squids were chosen. So there is a chance, whenever you're near one, that they will spontaneously combust. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.